Saturday, and we're here doing the PHNX Sun Devils show. Seems to be, as always, we're going to be doing a walk of shame because Arizona State couldn't get the job done against the TCU Horned Frogs. Final score 79-59. I am Anthony Totri. We got DJ Danielle behind the Mac. Guys, hit that like button. Do us a favor. Let us know what you like about this podcast. Leave us a 5-star review and let us know what you thought of that Arizona State basketball game because it's time to get serious. It's time to get serious for this post-game show and talk about what this Arizona State basketball team is. Really, this team is the most inconsistent trash I have ever seen. And Danny's saying it's been inconsistent for years, right? Karen, drinking our woes. Karen, ugly. JJ, sad, right? And I think the part that makes this such a difficult game to talk about, right, is the fact that this occurred during Adam Miller's season debut. His season debut after all the issues going on with the NCAA in the offseason, getting the waiver cleared, the whole TRO that's going on in the courts. And Adam Miller sees the court, has a hell of a game, 20 points. And Arizona State loses all across the board here with the players. But what I want to talk about, at least for the next little bit, is Hurley, is the scheme, is the offense. Because it's head-scratching to me that this is something that Arizona State fans are tuning into. They constantly have to tune into this. This is what the product is you get the best player on your roster back. You get Adam Miller on the court. And it still looks like there's one-on-one basketball. It still looks like these guys aren't practicing together. It still looks like this team defensively is getting beat because they don't have not necessarily the size, but they don't have the strength down low that some of these teams have. And they got beat. They got beat. This is an Arizona State team that led this game at one point by 14. They were up 23-9. Adam Miller offense was humming. Everybody was doing what they needed to do. And they fell flat on their face. This is what you get two things when you're watching Arizona State basketball this season. Very rarely, you'll get a hot start. You got a hot start tonight. It fizzled out. Offense didn't have enough. Not enough tricks in the bag. Right? Not enough guys. Not enough guys on that roster that are going to be out there going for 20 points a game. Not enough guys that say, I want to take that shot. And when they say that they're going to take that shot, they got that dog and you know it's going to go in. There's not enough of those guys. Let's be real. Let's be real about the team now. Because you lose by 20. You lose by 20 to a TCU team that you were up 14 points on. Think about that. Sit with that for a second. Arizona State was up 14 points and lost by 20. What? Are you kidding me? And this is how you're supposed to leave the Pac-12? This is how you're supposed to leave and go to the Big 12? A conference that has Kansas, that's going to have Arizona, that's going to have Kansas State, that's going to have an up-and-coming Colorado. You're supposed to go and provide this product to that conference? You're going to get hosed every week. Just wait till Pac-12 play comes, man. It's not going to be pretty. It is not going to be pretty if this is what they're putting on the court offensively. Offensively, it's not good enough. The offense isn't good enough, and it blows my mind because Bobby Hurley is one of the greatest point guards in college basketball history. And the offense looks like what you'd see at an LA Fitness. It looks like what you'd see at a pickup game. It's not good enough. And then you look at another turning point in the game, right? We already talked about the offense getting out there strong and then it fizzling out. Almost to the point where it was like, oh, Ace is here, right? That's what it felt like. Ace was hitting those shots back-to-back-to-back threes, whatever. And it felt like everybody was like, okay, Ace is here. Ace is going to take care of business on offense. We're going to cruise. And they didn't. It's more than just one dude. It's more than just one dude. And you saw tonight was the perfect example of that. Of you have a star player making a season debut, he drops 20 and they lose by 20. That's why great teams have more than just one star. They're built with a different level of DNA. And tonight, in the second half, when Alonzo Gaffney fouled out on the bench, he had a technical on the bench. And then Bobby Hurley got a tee. Arizona State was in what? They were within 2-3 points at that point. And then, or maybe they were winning. They might have been winning at that point by a bucket. In TCU, because of those tees, got the free throws. What do you know? They're a great basketball team, so they're hitting their free throws. And then they get possession, do what they do. They go on a run. They go on a ridiculous run. I think at one point it was a 22-3 run. Largest run for them was 16. 16-0. 16-0 run. What? Danny in the chat, Hurley is most definitely on the hot seat when he isn't on the hot seat. You gave him an extension. And this is it's going to be a unique situation because we've heard this in the past. We've heard this in the past with Bobby Hurley teams. They have these weird starts. They either start off really hot in non-conference and then fizzle out when you get to conference play, or you get what you get right now and you're choppy. And Arizona State doesn't know how to rebound from it. They don't know what to go from it. And if they don't, seriously, we're at that point because there's going to be a new man in charge. There's going to be a new athletic director. And as many fans that love Bobby Hurley, a great person, great coach, right? Great basketball mind. But right now, it's not there. Right now, the team is struggling, and they lost by 20 on the heels of a 5-point loss in what looked like a high school basketball gym to San Diego last week. It was bad. It's bad, Danielle.
So, at the time of the technical fouls, ASU was up 38-37.
Up a point. And they really couldn't do anything from that moment on. There was, 12 minutes left in the game at that point? I think there was about 12. ASU up 1. Danielle said they got 38 points, finished with 59. It's not good, man.
13-25 was the technical foul. And they went, 13, they went, oh boy. They went almost 3 whole minutes without a basket after that.
Not only that, is you look on the other side, and you got to give some credit to TCU. You give credit to Micah Peavy, who is the third player in TCU basketball history. Third player in TCU basketball history to have a triple-double. 13 points, 12 boards, 10 assists. Had 2 steals. 29 minutes. He was the best player on the court. They dominated. I don't know what else to say. Arizona State was beat. Right? You talk about losses. You talk about games that you wash away. And I'm a big believer in you got to get back to neutral. I say it on these post-game shows. I say it on football post-game shows. I say it in general. Don't let the team get too high. Don't let the team get too low. That's what great teams do. Well, I don't know how you flush this one. I don't know how you do it. You were up. You have your best player back. You're cruising. And you don't have enough. Look, they look underprepared, is what it looked like. There was part of it that looked like they were unprepared, and the other half just looked like they didn't know what to do after the tease. After the technical fouls, they let their emotions get the best of them. So that leaves me to believe that this team is not going to be able to get to neutral. Because when we're in the game, and you need to be there, and you need to focus, you got guys on the bench getting technical fouls, fouling out of the game with 12 minutes to play. What are we doing, Alonzo Gaffney? What are we doing? That is unacceptable. That is, and if I am Bobby Hurley, if I'm the head coach, to set a precedent, to set a standard, I'm suspending Alonzo Gaffney for a game. You can't do that. You can't afford it. You can't afford to have those mental lapses when you're not even on the floor. When you are impacting your team negatively when you're not on the floor. And you lose by 20. It's for ASU fans, it is incredibly upsetting, incredibly disappointing. And they don't deserve it. ASU fans don't deserve to turn on the basketball game, and that's the result. Do not. That was a piss poor effort from Arizona State tonight, specifically in the second half. It was incredible. It truly was incredible how you go from beating a team as badly as ASU was in that first half to eventually losing by 20. But if you don't believe me, the numbers definitely back it up. Let's go ahead and get to By the Numbers, presented by Desert Financial Credit Union, Arizona's #1 credit union, named by Forbes. Of course, the only number that matters is that final score, 79-59 in favor of TCU. The way these two teams shot from the floor tonight, TCU with the advantage, 45.6 to Arizona State's 38.5. Now, 3-point shooting tonight. Arizona State continued their struggles, just 25% from three-point land. TCU just a tad better, 33.3%. The free throw numbers for Arizona State, again, 14 of 21, left 7 points on the floor tonight. And for TCU, 11 of 15. They weren't perfect as well. And then it was brought up a little bit earlier, Arizona State having a season high in turnovers, 19 turnovers for the Sun Devils tonight to TCU's 13. The number that stands out most to me, the three-point numbers, 25%. I said, let's be real about this team. The offense, not good. They don't have the strength inside to deal with some of these bigger guys. They don't. They simply don't do it. They don't have the size. The rotation tonight, the starting lineup tonight, Alonzo Gaffney was your 5. They had 4 guards out there. Adam Miller, Jemiah Neal, Frankie Collins, Jose Perez. You're running small. And your 5, he's not big. He's just tall. He's not big, so he gets pushed around. He gets pushed around on the inside when you have giants like TCU has. I don't know what you do when you have that, when that's your roster. That's what you have, right? Like, that's a tough thing to deal with, but at the end of the day, that's why you're the head coach, to figure it out. And 3-point numbers is another thing that needs to get figured out. This is an Arizona State team that has been bad at shooting threes. At halftime, I believe they were 3 of 11 from three-point land. Adam Miller hit all of them. The only Sun Devil to hit a 3 in the first half, Adam Miller. Unacceptable. How do you let that happen? How do you go through, and I know Bobby is probably just as baffled when it gets to some of these things. Because you're going to ask him, right? Media at the game is going to be like, hey, Bobby, what are the struggles from three-point land? What do you say? What do you say? They don't make the shots? That's what it looks like. It just looks like they're not making the shots. So what do? Is it the players? Is it the coaches? Is it all of it? Do you have to tear it all down and start over when you get to the Big 12? Maybe. New AD doesn't want this. New athletic director does not want this. That's not getting talked about enough. You're going to get a new man in charge, new woman in charge. And what? We're going to the basketball conference with this. At DFA, Nah. If I'm the Big 12, that's embarrassing. I'm not taking that. 20 points, dog, to a team that you are going to have to start playing twice a year in TCU, and they beat your ass by 20. What's your response? You got one get-right game. Before you got these Pac-12 opponents. That game against Northwestern, that's going to be your game to show what you are for the rest of the season. Are they good? Recent results lead me to believe no. Are they a tourney team? No, not right now. Not right now. There are teams that you can look at in the nation. I can look, and this sucks. You could look at the Arizona Wildcats right now. You could say that's a tournament team. You could look at Duke. That's a tournament team. You could look at Purdue. That's a tournament team. You could look at Washington State. Washington State might be a tournament team. Arizona State, are they a tournament team? No, they don't look like a tournament team. They just lost by 20. And then they lost to San Diego last week by 5. Not good enough. Now, there was one shining star that we're going to get to here in just a little bit. But first, I want to get off my rager here for a second. I'll get back to neutral. I'm not going to let my emotions get too high when I tell you about Desert Financial Credit Union. Guys, they're the official retail banking partner of Arizona State University. And for more than 84 years, Desert Financial has been Arizona's largest, most trusted local credit union, dedicated to creating exceptional experiences by giving back to the community and providing financial solutions that make lives better. Now, if you're an Arizona sports fan, there is no better place to do your banking than Desert Financial Credit Union. It is the only place that you can show your team spirit every time you make a purchase with exclusive debit cards branded with your favorite teams. Bring the boom and get fired up with the Arizona State University Visa debit card. Now is the time to show your ASU team spirit. Open a free checking account online and get $200 plus your choice of 3 Arizona State University Visa debit cards. Go to desertfinancial.com/ASU to get started. I hope there is some ASU fans in the chat that opted to emotionally hedge and bet TCU money line, bet TCU spread, because if you did, you made some money. And hopefully you made that money on the BetMGM Sportsbook app. I know I did. Going to make some money on the NFL on Sunday, and I'm going to do it with BetMGM. They've got a great deal for you guys if you haven't signed up yet, and it's super easy to take advantage of. Download the BetMGM Sportsbook app on iOS or Android, or visit BetMGM.com. Sign up and deposit at least $10 into your BetMGM Sportsbook account. Place your first wager and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if that bet loses. Now, if the bet does lose, your bonus bets will be available once your initial wager is settled. Go ahead and sign up for BetMGM. Use that bonus code PHNX. Place your first BetMGM Sportsbook wager through BetMGM Sportsbook mobile app of at least $10. And if that bet loses, your bonus bets will be available once your initial wager is settled. Check out the show notes for full details. And now it's a shame. Talk about the disclaimer.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Colorado, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, Nevada, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus to wager. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help Michigan. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. U.S. promotional offers not available in D.C., New York, or Ontario.
JJ in the chat. TCU is good. They have had a soft schedule, but they're a top 40 KenPom team. They'll finish in the upper half of the Big 12. But ASU played bad, and that's objective. BC saying TCU isn't necessarily all that great, but at the end of the day, they probably will be a tournament team. Like, I started off the show with it, right? Is this sucks for so many reasons, but because the guy getting bottle service tonight had a game. Adam Miller, Ace Wolf, getting 20 points in his season debut. He's been through hell and back with the NCAA. Getting on the court, I know, win, lose, or draw, he probably felt good just to be hooping out there. But still, man, 20 points. And with the way that he started, with the back-to-back threes, Adam Miller was the guy. And it's funny to be at this point in the season, because I remember right before we even started these post-game shows for basketball this season, it was like, okay, you need a guy. Specifically, I remember saying, you need a guy. Who's that guy? Is it Frankie Collins? Is it Jemiah Neal? It was Adam Miller the whole time. Adam Miller was the guy the entire time. And he proved that tonight against what's going to be a tournament team in TCU. To JJ's point, a team that's going to finish in the upper half of the Big 12. Adam Miller was that guy. And his teammates let him down. 5 of 9 from the field. 3 of 7 from 3. 7 of 7 from the charity stripe. Adam Miller was the only Arizona State Sun Devil tonight that went to the free throw line and made every free throw. Every other player missed one. Every other player missed a free throw. Bryant Selabunge missed all 3. Jose Perez, 4 of 6. Kamari Lands, 2 of 3. Frankie Collins, 1 of 2. Adam Miller also had 2 boards, 3 assists, and 2 steals in 31 minutes. Tied for the most minutes on the team with Jose Perez. It's, well, like, what do you say? What do you say? If you're Adam Miller, what more can you do? What more can you do? This guy's been itching to get back on the court. Been craving basketball at this level. And he balls with the opportunity he's been given. And what do the rest of the starters do? Lonzo Gaffney fouled out. Lonzo Gaffney fouled out with no points. He started tonight. Frankie Collins, 5 points, 6 turnovers. Jemiah Neal, 4 points, 1 turnover. Jose Perez, 11 points, 5 turnovers. Jose Perez and Frankie Collins combined for 11 of Arizona State's 19 turnovers tonight. Starting guards, 2 of Arizona State's best players. Not good enough. Not good enough. That is the theme right now. That is the theme right now. And we can't just gloss over that San Diego loss. Not now. You could have. If you won this game, you could have. You could have said, hey, it was just one of those games. Everybody has one of those games. Lose by 5 to a bad team. We'll forget about it. Not now. Not now. You lost by 20 to a team that you were up 14, and you let a dude enter the franchise, the school program record books. He had his way with him. And they did it again. All on Adam Miller's first game as an Arizona State Sun Devil. It's tough. And look, I know there's people that want to talk about the Dilly stuff. Kenny Dillingham has had an absolute day today. That staff has had an absolute day today. And I would love to talk about it. And we'll talk about it first thing on Monday. I promise you. But I'm too angry to talk about it right now. I'm too angry to mix it because the people that want to talk about Kenny, they're happy. Right? The people that are, when we're talking Arizona State football, there's happiness right now. There's optimism. There's excitement. Is that there with basketball right now? Are you excited to watch an Arizona State basketball game right now? Be honest. That's the conversation I'm having with Bobby. If I'm the next AD, that's the conversation I'm having with Bobby. And if I'm Bobby, I'm having that same conversation with the players. I get those guys in the locker room. I say, hey, do you think that if your parents, if your friends, if your family, they didn't know you and they went to ASU, would they feel encouraged to go watch an Arizona State basketball game? No. No, you wouldn't. And for more reasons than one. You lose by 20 tonight. You lost to San Diego by 5. You haven't proved at all this season that you can run a competent offense. And then you play a DFA. And they're going to move to the Big 12. Like, it's laughable right now. That's when I say let's be real about the program right now. That's what I'm talking about. Let's be real about it. Is it going to change? Mm-hmm. That starts with the AD at this point. That starts with the AD. Bobby knows it. He's got to. He's got to know it. Deep down, he has to. He has to know that when you have a new athletic director coming in and you're going to a basketball conference and you see the rise that football is having, even with a bad season, you see the rise that the hockey program has had. You see where Sun Devil Swim and Dive is. You see where ASU wrestling is. You see where ASU volleyball is. And you've got ASU basketball. It's supposed to be a revenue sport. Doesn't feel like it. Does not feel like it. There is a lot of work for Arizona State to do. And like I said, obviously, Kenny and those guys are having themselves a hell of a weekend. We will absolutely discuss that on Monday. Before we continue our conversation about the Arizona State basketball game, I want to tell you a little bit about how you guys can win off the court, and that is with AZ Lottery. The holiday season is here, and so are the holiday scratchers from Arizona Lottery. You can make last-minute shopping easy, and they make a perfect gift. There are scratchers for everybody on your list, and they start at just a single dollar with top prizes up to $500,000. You can gift holiday scratchers to anybody, naughty, nice, or someone in between. Go out, buy your holiday scratchers today. Find a retailer like our friends over at Circle K near you at ArizonaLottery.com. You do got to be 21 or older to play. And look, while we're talking about Circle K, we might as well just tell you about their new free membership program that they have, guys. Inner Circle. It is going to help you guys save money every single day. And when you first get started, they're going to save you some. It adds up, right? Save 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups. And then after that, save 3 cents per gallon every single day. Now, if that is not enough, they are going to give you guys some free stuff. Now, what am I talking about when I'm talking about free stuff? We'll get every 6th free on a selection of Circle K products: pizza, coffee, ice cold fountain drinks, and again, maybe you're sitting at home and you know what? You're like, there's just not enough. And Circle K says, you know what? We got you. They got you with their free 31 days of Circle K in the Inner Circle K app. It is literally like a video game interface that you are going to go in. You're going to spend 2 minutes maybe playing the game, and you're going to unlock a sweet deal over at Circle K. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. Now, usually we do heat index. Usually we do heat index after an ASU basketball game to talk about some players that did well outside of bottle service. I told Danielle, I said, we're not going to do heat index if they lose this game. And you know what? Even if we did do heat index, I'm looking at the box score, and I was watching the game. It was Adam Miller. If Adam Miller wasn't playing tonight, this team loses by 40 points. Seriously, it was bad. It was not a good night. And that's I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real. Am I being too harsh, Danielle?
No.
They were bad.
Absolutely. No, this was bad, and it's one of those games where the only thing you can say about it is like, I'll just play better. Like we can analyze, we can sit here and analyze just play better. Like, hit your shots, play better, move around on offense. It was awful. Yeah. It was a terrible game.
And JJ, look, I love JJ. JJ's always in the chat. He says it's been 2 bad games. Keep the faith. These seasons are marathons. You're right. They are marathons. But to your point, JJ, this is where I'd fight back a little bit. Is if you are running the same marathon every single season and you get the same result, I mean, is there any reason this season to look at it and not think not necessarily stop supporting, but saying, is there any reason to guess that race doesn't end the same way? I would say no. I would say absolutely not. I would say there is no shot that you run this marathon and there's a different outcome. Because now you're at 6-4. You're 10 games through the season. Let's be real. That's a great sample size. What have we learned in 10 games? Well, tonight we learned Adam Miller's the best player on the team. Other than that, there's no offense. They don't have a 3-point arsenal by any means. They don't have the actual true strength in the interior to actually defend some of these bigger teams. Wait till you see Umar Ballo come to town. What he's going to do in the paint to ASU. It's not going to be pretty. And that is going to be the game that you're like, oh, shit. The size. They're tall. Yes, they're tall. 7 feet, 6'10". Yeah, they're tall. They're not strong. They're not dudes that are sitting down there crashing the glass. And we talk about these rebounding issues. Dudes are tall, man. They're 7 feet. They're 6'10". They're 6'8". That's tall. Get a board. You know the difference between 6'10" and 7 feet? It's this much. This much. That's the difference. All of a sudden, you got a 7-footer, they have a 6'10" guy. That's your rebounding? No, dude. It goes so much further than that. JJ Toshi, do you mean Dayton? Dude, if I'm watching this team right now, and if you told me they're going to Dayton, I would be popping champagne. I'd be popping bottles. That's where I'm at, though, right now. That's exactly where I am at with the season. Pete, not sure everyone realizes how good the Pac-12 is going to be this year. Yeah, there's a lot of people that see those non-conference numbers, and they just assume that it's just going to be Arizona. Arizona, yes, will be there. USC is going to get it right. They have some guys. Colorado, up and coming. Utah, I've seen them projected to be a tournament team. Washington State, they're on a little bit of a run in non-conference play regardless of who they've played. Arizona State is going to have a difficult task. And look, there are people in the chat that can attest to it. I will do my absolute best to try and make talking about it comfortable. Try in talking about this game, trying and talking about the season, trying and talking about the team, and giving you a little bit of hope if it's there. Tonight, man, it's just, what do you say? Other than you need to be better. The fans deserve better. Those players, your teammates, deserve better. Everybody involved with Arizona State basketball after tonight's loss deserves better, and every single one needs to wake up, look in the mirror in the morning, and ask themselves how they get there. Because yes, it's a marathon. You're 8 miles into that 26 right now. You got to figure it out, and you got to figure it out fast. Because guess what? Like Peter said, these teams that you're going to play, they get harder. They get better. They get more tape. Adam Miller tonight, 20 points. First time anybody's seen tape of him in an ASU jersey. That's going to change. Pac-12 teams are going to be ready. And you're going to need somebody else. You are going to need somebody else if this team is going to reach the height that it might need for Arizona State to have Bobby Hurley as the coach going into next season. That's the reality. That's the reality that you're in. Bobby Hurley's been around college basketball enough to know the position he's in. He's got to turn it around. And if he doesn't turn it around, then it might not look good. It might not look good. Look, I'm going to try and lighten it up just a tad, okay? And we're going to do that with Aftertaste, okay, Danielle? I'm going to start with Danielle. Everybody else in the chat, let me know what this game tasted like. What was slammed into your gullet while watching this one?
Oh, boy. You know that feeling when you order like a Coke or something and you take a sip and it's like root beer?
Oh, wait, I love root beer.
But like it's not what you expected.
Okay,
right?
That's fair.
Like
you're disappointed.
Yeah, and I like I've seen studies where like that is the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah. Like
where you expect something, but it's something else. So like let's say like, oh, do you like Dr. Pepper?
I do like Dr. Pepper.
Okay, well then this isn't gonna work then. But for me, I don't like root beer. So like this is Coke. Like I ordered Coke, but I got root beer.
Yeah. It's just disappointing. That's the best way to put it. Look, I see a lot of new faces in the chat. We got Caden in here. We got Lance in here. Obviously, we got some returner side tripping, JJ, Vontez. Everybody, do us a favor. Hit that like button. I know we got some people in here that haven't hit it. Do us a solid. Do everybody a solid. Hit that like button. Leave a 5-star review. Again, let us know what you like about this podcast. For me, you know what this tasted like? I'm going to, theme on disappointment here. For me, and I think back to about 2 months ago, I had strep throat, right? And there's this sandwich shop in California, Escondido, California, called a Grusa's sandwich shop. Sorry, Max, free ad. Best sandwiches, best subs I've ever had, right? And I've been eating those subs since I was a little kid. They taste amazing. And I'm talking like, we're talking Scooby-Doo, Shaggy level sandwiches, right? We're talking these guys. They're awesome. So I go over to my parents' house watching Sunday football. I feel like I'm getting sick. I feel like I'm starting to feel ill, right? ASU fans, you watch the start of these games, you start to feel ill, right? And I eat the sandwich, eat half of it. Tastes good, tastes whatever. That night, I throw it up. I throw up that sandwich, right? And that's not necessarily it. The losing my lunch part is probably where you get the tease. Probably where Gaffney gets teed. Probably where Hurley gets teed. For me, what this one was like is when you taste the sandwich again. When you are not sick anymore. When you're not sick anymore and you go eat that same sandwich that you used to love, that you used to crave, when it doesn't hit anymore.
We stink.
We suck.
We stink.
Like poo.
Yeah.
Not good. Not good. That's what this tasted like. Not poo, but it tasted like disappointment. It tasted like something that you had loved and it was ruined for you.
And it wasn't that thing's fault too. I 100% agree with that.
Yeah. It really had nothing to do with side tripping with Carrie Spalding's drink with the cigarette butt and Caddyshack right before he hurled. Karen, aftertaste of a cola that didn't have the carbonation, changed out and is flat. No, absolutely. Look, this one wasn't good. We talked about the San Diego one not being good either. I want to go ahead and I want to take a look at the Bobby board because it's starting to get a little grim. It's starting to get a little grim, and I'm trying to be optimistic. I'm trying to push on for everybody, right? But we've now gone 2 games without a new Bobby face. It hurts. It stinks. You got to get, at this point in my mind, Northwestern's a must-win game. Northwestern is a must-win game, not only for us to see a Bobby face, but for this team to get it together, to build some confidence before you got those first 2 in conference play, before you see the Stanford Cardinal, before you see the Cal Bears. You need to beat Northwestern. You need to beat Northwestern handedly. I need to see this offense look real. I need to see like it's capable of going out there and scoring at a high clip consistently. And if they don't, what confidence do you have against Stanford, against Cal, against 2 teams in the Pac-12 when we talk about a loaded Pac-12 as being low-tier teams? As we talk about Stanford and Cal not being tournament teams. I sit here, I tell you Northwestern's a must-win game. It is. It is for me. Stanford, Cal, they're pretty close. They're pretty close. If you want to be in that tournament conversation, if you don't want to fizzle out, you got to find a way to get those games. You have to. Otherwise, it's going to be ugly. And that's not what ASU fans want. That's not what ASU fans deserve. And that's not what Bobby Hurley wants if he wants to keep this job going into the Big 12. That's just, again, the reality of the situation. Vontez, Buckshanks, let's go to work Wednesday, boys. I'm back, baby. No more feeling sorry for ourselves. No more. We're going to wash it away. Wash away the sins of a Saturday L, okay? And we're going to go into Sunday with a great mood, okay? Go into Sunday with a great mood. Maybe stop at Gila River Resorts and Casinos because at Gila River Resorts and Casinos, guys, nobody does it better. And what do we mean when we're talking about it? Well, we're talking about the experience, the authentic, immersive experience that they have at Gila River with an unprecedented level of entertainment and excitement that you're not going to find anywhere else in the desert. They have set not just a high bar, but the highest bar. Their state-of-the-art gaming floor has it all with over 800 slot machines, 15 blackjack tables, and live table games, not to mention Arizona's largest casino sports book. So when I say that Gila River Resorts and Casinos, nobody does it better, that's the it. The it is everything. You do you at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Visit playatgila.com for more details. Now, a big part of playing some of those table games is you got to have a poker face. You got to be able to sell it, right? What better way to sell it than with some Shady Rays? Be the guy at the poker table. Be the guy at the blackjack table just sitting there, stone cold Steve Austin, just staring him down. Hit me. Hit me. Right? We're playing Texas Hold'em, doing it all. Make sure you guys got your Shady Rays. And maybe you're not over at the casino. Maybe you just want to look good. Maybe you just need a brand new pair of sunglasses. Shady Rays, they're the glasses for you. And you can shop their entire collection at their brand new location, Carolyn Commons, a full-stop shop for all things Shady Rays. And if you don't love your Shady Rays, exchange for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Their team always has your back. And exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com and use that code PHNX for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself. The shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. Danielle, do you know what time it is, Danielle?
Is it finally time to shut it down?
Danielle, it is finally time for closing time. And let's go ahead. Let's get out of here and talk about the takeaways of this Arizona State basketball game. Starting with number 1. Who are you? If I'm an Arizona State basketball player, if I'm on that bench, if I'm Bobby Hurley, before I took myself into bed tonight, look in the mirror. Who the hell are you? Be better than somebody that lost by 20 to TCU tonight. The second takeaway, you got to understand, college basketball is a game of runs. Arizona State led TCU by 14, was up 23-9, ended up losing by 20. You got to find a way to string together some of those runs. The final takeaway, something we can all agree with, guys, the NCAA sucks. You know why they suck? Because this is the first game that we got to watch Adam Miller, and we don't know the kind of impact that he would have had on Arizona State through the first 9 games of the season. Guys, if you enjoyed the content tonight, do me a favor, hit that like button, leave us a 5-star review. Let us know what you enjoyed about this podcast. Like I said, we're going to be talking about Dilly and all those incoming transfers on Monday. Go ahead, give us a follow at PHNX_Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow DJ Danielle at Abracadanielle. All love to everybody in the chat, and I will see you Monday. Go Devils, and peace.
We all silly like the mayor.